Nidokele at namboli, Nino matir na pe, Nindondom na midirie, Nindu marak na wewe, Nidokele at namboli, Nino matir na pe, Nidondom na midirie, Nindu marak na wewe.
So when did you come to Vanuatu and why?
It took me 3 years to find this spot. And there are a lot of reasons why we chose this spot very, very
So
carefully.
3 years living in Vanuatu.
Everything. Living in Vanuatu.
3 years travelling back and forth
Okay.
to look at where to purchase and where to...
But in thinking
in the Pacific.
purchasing something as an investment.
As an investment
As an
originally,
investment, safety, security, everything. So, fundamentally. So then we decided, okay, well, Vanuatu is definitely the best place to go. It's the closest place to Australia, this particular island here. And then the big question was where? Where, when you live in the tropics, that you've got to have wind, you've got to have a breeze. Right? So if you live on the west side where the sun goes down, or if you live in Villa, it's actually very hot, really hot, and it becomes quite unbearable. So for me, having lived in the tropics for my life, I felt it was very important that I get in a position where there's always going to be some sort of breeze coming through. The second reason why I've chosen this particular area is because we've got 12 islands within 16 kilometres of the resort. We've got 12 magnificent islands, the most beautiful islands in the world, beaches there's so the water sports, fantastic. Fishing, scuba diving, spearfishing, snorkeling, absolutely beautiful, pristine stuff. So I can genuinely say that it's probably the best spot on the island. We've been here now for well over 10 years, and I've never felt more free. So it's really about freedom, freedom of choice, freedom to be able to sort of do what you want, and of course living in the tropics, and having this sort of thing as your backyard, it's a little bit difficult to imagine why I'd want to live anywhere else. So that's why we came here.
For me, I've been here for over 8 years now, and we were part of developing this whole place from scratch, which was really interesting. But beautiful, just natural beauty. So that was really cool to be a part of the actual development stages.
We thought it would be just another place with another resort, another business. And we originally came here for financial reasons, or wanted to retire. It was an investment, so on and so forth. What did change is the people. The people of Vanuatu are just the most, they really genuinely are the most amazing people.
Gratitude is real, the resilience is amazing, the happiness is authentic. It's,
and they're always happy, they're always smiling, and even when we got hit with Cyclone Pam, we genuinely considered going back to Australia and
throwing it all in,
throwing it all in and whatnot, and it was the people that actually sort of made us stay. So that's why we're here. That's why we remain here, because we sort of had no choice.
It was it was definitely a humbling experience. It went from just having that investment and being in a paradise and having a lifestyle change and all of these other aspects to, no, this is so much more than that. We are actually needed here and we're part of something. And if we do leave, then that's going to have an impact.
The bottom line is that I believe that if it wasn't the people, we wouldn't be here.
We had it for about 2 years, maybe, I think. It was fully operational. That was the restaurant and everything. And then in 2015, Cyclone Pam obviously came along, and that just devastated the whole country. It really set the country back. It took us about 18 months from then on to actually reopen to full capacity again.
It's a good story. It's fun, a little bit sad, but fundamentally the chief, came up to me and he said, "Look," he said, "what are you going to do?" I said, "Well, we're out of here. We go back to Australia." And he said, "No." He said, "We need you," and because they realised that we're the only business within the area that can generate jobs and generate money, and of course that that allows our kids to be able to go to school, that provides them with a basic level of health. So, like the chief is smart enough to understand that this business can produce a lot of work. Like we've had over 100 people working at any one time. So, so I said to them,
it's all local people.
yes, all local. We got four villages, and they all work with us. So I said jokingly to the chief, I said, I'll tell you what, Albert. I said, you want me to stay? I said, you get me no money, no wages. You're working for nothing, right? You get me 30 women. They got to just sit there and fit and weave thatch. So we make a temporary roof for a new restaurant. So you get 30 women to come and do the thatch, and get 30 boys, because we got to clean this place up. There were trees everywhere. I mean, you can't even imagine. It was like,
I think the fridge was over on the other side of the road, wasn't it?
Fridge was on the other side of the road.
Memory.
The concrete here was gone. There's about 5 massive trees in the bay that we had to try and get out. It was a mess.
It was the storm surge, not necessarily the rain or the wind, but the ocean had come up and went way up, like
it was up here.
200
There's
meters.
much water here.
So it just dug everything, the foundation, and everything collapsed over.
So effectively, I didn't think he'd be able to do it. I thought, well, there's no way he's going to do it. So he said, okay, no worries. So I went to bed that night. I woke up about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I heard all this noise outside the door. I went, what the hell? And walked out, and there was people everywhere from the village. Yeah, and I've gone,
Now I have to stay.
Oh, no. I'd already bought my plane ticket. I was out of here. Like, it was all over.
You had to cancel your flight, right?
Yeah, I was flying out at 3 o'clock. I'm going home. That's it. I'm not doing this stuff. Anyway, so I came out, and they're all going, right, where do we start? And I'm going, oh my God. And we had to teach everyone from scratch. He said, when we first came here, they were very, very native. They had no experience with businesses, or they'd never had a job.
But you see the shift in the village as well. You see that the relationship has gotten better. Yeah.
I think the most important part of our growth is that it's important for us to do well. It's important for us to be happy, but it's also very, very, very important for us to bring everyone around, for them to grow with us.
Yeah,
the bottom line is about growing together.
Yeah.
When we built the resort, it was a big focus on the environment. Mm-hmm. So we've got a carbon footprint, that's extremely low, because everything that we do here has to do with climate change and the environment. So we're very conscious of that, and we're very proudly developing our properties, with solar panels, and we're off the grid. We don't use any electricity from anywhere except here.
It's amazing.
That's all here. Tahnia's developed a huge garden. Probably provides about 80% of our requirements in terms of organic food, our own water system. We catch most of the water from the roofs.
I think that's a really important part of the business, is through expansion. It's making sure we don't have a negative impact on the community or environment around us. So it's always making sure that lifestyles aren't changed dramatically, and they can continue living, as they wish. It's not stopping them from doing things that they would normally do.
That's a really important point, what Tanya just said. See, like, when I came here, the chief said to me, no, we want you to build as many bungalows as you want, don't worry about it. So in his mind, all he's thinking about is money and jobs and health, and I said, just build bungalows, build this, do that. And then I said, do you realise if we do that, let's go in the future, 10 years, and if we've got a little city here, shops and houses everywhere, a little city. I said, you're not going to be allowed to walk on the reef anymore. You can't walk on the reef, you can't go fishing, you can't even walk through here, you need to walk on the street. I said, you're going to lose a lot of your freedom and a lot of the things that you love right now. You will lose that. So, be very careful.
Staff, I think, it's making sure they don't work too hard, because they value their 2-hour nap in the middle of the day. They value their time that they spend in their own gardens. They value their time with their family. All of this is really important to them as well. So it's being really mindful of, guys, we're getting really busy. That might be exciting for us, but for them, it's actually not about the money. It's about, I think, just being part of something with us. So they're really kind of happy just doing that kind of standard working week. So we need to grow, but bring in more people to be a part of that, and not necessarily, it's the same,
Giving more
working,
hours to
work smarter, not harder. The ideal customer for us, I think, is someone that's really laid back, easygoing, wants to have that cultural experience, connect with the locals, still wanting comfort and a little bit of luxury and things like that, not doing it completely rough, but it's more about the people for us than it is about the actual product. So what we've got is still a fairly small boutique resort. So we currently at this stage have 8 bungalows, and we have our glamping tents, our bell tents. We are building more, in the process of expanding, but we're also mindful that we don't want to become a really big resort and lose focus of having that one-on-one connection with our guests, and not have time with people as well. I think that's really important for us. So I think we'll always be boutique, but maybe just to still be able to cater for everyone.
So what's our point of difference? Right? What makes us different to any other resort? I mean, you can go to any resort in the world, and it's just another resort. It's just a resort. So what we feel that we've done really, really well is that we allow the guests to mingle with the staff, and we allow the staff to mingle with the guests. So it's a very important thing for both parties. So the guests get to learn more about the locals. We take them to the village. We really get this interaction going
and I think
between.
Encourage the staff to be authentic. There's customer service and professionalism, but then there's also like, just be yourself. So having that realness comes with imperfections.
Yeah.
We cater very heavily for your corporate retreats. We cater for your wellness retreats. Groups is what I'm saying. It works really well for groups to come and stay in the place, kind of have it to themselves. Very private, not too noisy. You can you've got a couple of different conference rooms, a lot of large space and area that they can kind of spread themselves. All of our bungalows are waterfront located. The conference rooms waterfront located. The restaurants waterfront located. So the majority of our rooms allow to self-cater. And then otherwise we've got the on-site restaurant that caters for a large amount of people. We have a really diverse, large menu. So I think we specifically kind of specialize in seafood, given that we're on the reef, and we actually get our lobster from right in front, which is really cool. And
the fish.
And the fish, of course. But we still offer Indian curries, we offer burgers and chips, Thai. Like we kind of are just a really all around, just to make sure that we cater for everyone. An activity aspect, this location's really exciting for us because we've got the river right next to us. It's just 900 meters up the road, so there's a lot to do with that, that can be done with that river. We've got the ocean here as well.
So it's beautiful that you've got the lagoons here.
Yeah,
which are
you're not
safe.
getting tossed over by the beach. You've got some stillness. But for those that want to snorkel, you've still got that aspect. We get boats coming in here every now and then. Some of the fishermen, or they pick up some guests, or we've got our own boat that we take off out here. So it's all part of the lifestyle as well. I think it's really nice just having a really big property so that you can actually ride a bike around the area or walk. You've got the rainforest right behind us there, so really great for those that like your bushwalking, your activity, your hiking.
We not only have 16 islands around us, which opens the door for island getaways, but also we've got 83 islands in Vanuatu, of which there are some beautiful and very unusual islands, such as Tahnia. That's a live volcano. We've got 3 live volcanoes in Vanuatu, but it allows us then to develop tours near our premium tours. Our tours that are associated to the close by islands, the reef, and the river, and then of course we can also develop tours to other islands.
Our 2 main signature tours that we have here, we've got our kayaking trek, so that would be 3 hours up the river, go up the Cascades. There's some waterfalls at the end of the Cascades, really stunning. The second thing is the hunters and gatherers tour, so that actually takes them into the farm to actually harvest the produce themselves, bring it back and then cook and prepare it. Modern current food, but in traditional with traditional cooking methods. So there would be our signature dishes, our signature tours. But we also have a lot of stuff on site that people can do. I think the definite unique thing that you won't find anywhere else in Vanuatu is our team building. So we're very lucky to have a team building crew that actually caters for our corporate groups, families. It could be a birthday, it could be any kind of event, and we can either have team building anything from strengthening teams with communication or conflict resolution all the way through to having a real fun with high-tech apps to do scavenger hunts around the resort, to Survivor, activity style, outrageous games. There's a whole heap of stuff that we do. So we do those quite frequently here.
So that can work really nicely together with the conference room as well.
Definitely. I think that goes hand in hand. So any of the retreats that are here, we do, if it's a wellness retreat, we can actually offer meditation and yoga. We can still cater the activity or the team building, if you like, to that type of retreat. We get a lot of church groups here. So we do things that are around communication and for a lot of the youth groups. I personally have assisted in coaching some of the volleyball teams. So they come here, they're quite frequently Vanuatu beach volleyball, to come here every year and do their retreats with us. And we do team building with them to actually strengthen their communication and looking at how they can build their confidence and all of these things. So I think specifically for anyone coming out to this part of the area, aside from that tour, the Hunters and Gatherers tour, we take people into the village. They go to the different nakamas. There's about 5. They love their kava in this area, but there's a whole background around how they actually make the kava, do the kava, grow the kava. So we do that every afternoon. I mean, you've got the just the village tour itself, actually going and visiting the schools and the kindergartens, and we encourage people to interact, maybe even bring something over every now and then, just some school supplies or something that it could help contribute to what's already happening and have that connection. Some of our guests have even gone and stayed in the village as like a homestay for a few nights, just to really get that what that lifestyle is. It's a really great location for the domestic tourism because it's affordable, so they can still come by car to get to this location. It's just out of town, so a lot of people feel like they're far away, but they're not as close to Villa, which has a lot of its perks. It's affordable. We're welcoming to any type of tourist. So we are definitely a main tourism operator for both locals and international tourists alike. Yeah, definitely.